So I graduated from the PhD in Applied Linguistics in 2021, the spring of 2021. Um, I really enjoyed my time there. I think the thing that probably made my time at Penn State the most memorable was the people, for sure. I had a really great group of, friends, colleagues, advisors. I worked with Karen Johnson, who was a fantastic, very supportive advisor. I had colleagues in the department and other departments who I wrote with all the time, and we're still, I mean, I'm in contact with all of them still 3 years later. So sure. So right now, my job position is senior bilingual user experience researcher. I work for a company that consults for the federal government on their technology, digital services, websites. So I work on basically doing research to help the government learn how to better serve multilingual, multicultural audiences when they're designing websites for anything, from passports to government benefits, all of that type of stuff. Um, how did I get interested in transitioning, I guess, from the academic world into the industry? There were a lot of factors, of course. For me, I think some of the top ones were the flexibility to choose, I guess, where I wanted to be and have that dictate, what I did. The ability to work fully remotely, so I work, purely remotely. So I'm currently living in California, but I can be anywhere in the U.S. So it makes things like traveling a lot easier. Um, I also spent most of my time up until I finished the PhD in educational spaces, in academic, work. And I think by the time I finished the PhD, I was kind of curious to know what else is out there. I found a resource. I guess I never fact checked it, but um, when I was starting to consider industry careers, I found a resource that stated that the academic job market is something like 3% of the total job market. So I was, thought there's 97% out there that I haven't even explored. So I was, curious to see how I could still apply everything that I had learned, all of the development, all of my skills as a researcher, but in a different setting. I think for me, I'm lucky in that, my industry career is still research. It's still very much social science research, and there's quite a bit of overlap actually. And the research that I do in industry is still focused on helping understand multilingual users, and a lot of it is similar research methods, but they just have different names in the industry world. So I'm still doing a lot of things like narrative inquiry. I'm doing ethnographic things where I'm observing people and trying to capture them in their, natural setting and trying to understand their behaviors. I'm, interviewing people. It's a lot of similar types of things. And similar types of questions that I'm asking, but the result of my research in this case now is to drive improvements in a product or service, right? Which is the federal digital service that I'm working on. It's not necessarily so much purely about enhancing knowledge of a domain to build knowledge. It's all in the service of developing something or improving this product. So that part's a little different, but there's a lot of overlap, which I really enjoy. Yes. I mean, I would say for me, the first thing that I did that was really helpful was just starting with taking stock of what it is that you're interested in, what are your values, what is going to bring you joy, and if that's in academia, that's great. If it's not, it's going to help you figure out, because again, like it can be overwhelming to move into this 97% of the job market, finding a direction, finding, the thing that is going to keep you motivated, keep you interested, keep you engaged. So starting with that and really mapping out your values, what you're interested in, your skills, transferable skills is really important. And networking. It was really challenging for me at first, but networking, I think, is pretty key in just learning, finding people who are doing things that you think look interesting and reaching out and asking if they would be willing to share with you what they do. That was really helpful for me in, figuring out a direction, and as well as landing the job that I have now. Yes, the journey to finding my current job, it was a kind of somewhat lengthy journey. It took me about a year, little over a year from finishing the PhD to actually landing the job that I currently have. Um, I would say, ag- going back to the networking thing, actually, the very specific thing that led me to this job was through LinkedIn, which is, a very, very popular industry networking social media site, I guess. And I just happened to see somebody posted one day that they worked for a company that consulted on federal government work in UX research, which was the thing that I was interested in. And I reached out to that person and just said I would love to learn more about it. And that, ended up leading to this person submitting a referral for me. Applied for the job and then, went from there. I also, prior to that, spent time volunteering because I was really interested in having more direct experience in the industry that I wanted to transition to. Coming from an academic background, I knew I had research skills and transferable skills, but I wanted to demonstrate that I could use those skills in this setting. So for about 8 or 9 months, I volunteered with an organization called Hack4LA and did research for them for a while. And I think that was also pretty instrumental in helping me land this current job.